Right, okay then guys, I've been asked to make this video by a friend, and it's something that I felt it was important enough to do a video on. So, land navigation on maps, we're going to use 1 to 25,000, and hopefully some of you should recognise where this is. So what I want to talk to you about is how you navigate and how you use your tools and all your kit to use a map. Everyone seems to fall to GPS, which is great for getting a fix, not so great in woods and other areas, or if you run out of batteries, etc. But I tend to see a lot of people just using apps on their phone now for navigating. You see it out on the hill, you see it out and about. And what I really want to do is address the fundamentals of map reading and to prove how easy it is. So we'll cover that in a few videos. But really, this is something I haven't seen anywhere else, and I think is a trick that I've used for quite a while now, and I thought it'd be worthwhile showing you. So while you're all out with your maps, all your cheaters, starting at penny pass here, most people they'll have a dry bag, or we're not going to talk about anything to do with waterproofness. You've all got your own ways of keeping your maps waterproof, etc. on the side of the hill or wherever. This is really about being out 24 hours a day and being able to cope with anything that you should deal with on a normal day out. So most people would use a micro pencil like this, and if you put a mark on a map, let's put a reference just on here. It's quite hard to see. Let's zoom you in. Now I don't know if you can pick that up, but that circle just there. You can see that circle. So what I tend to use in daylight is you can get red pencil leads for your micro pencil. So actually, when drawing circles, you can actually make them a lot bolder. Now this makes it a lot easier to find your points. On the map. However, there comes a problem with this system, which is when it comes to night and you start using it in red light, those circles disappear. Using maps at night is quite challenging. Daytime nav, I generally use the red pencil or the green pencil. But what I've started to do in the last few years is use just high vis gel pens. Now the lines are quite fat and they're not coming off once they go on, but actually they're quite a bit better, as you can see. Now if I lick my finger, nothing happens with the pencil, but obviously, as you'd expect, it starts to smudge the pen marks. So this brings me on to my next point. Bear with me, this will take a few seconds. So night time now. When you're on the side of the hill, you'll always have that perfect friend that looks at the map, your night vision's just got accustomed, and then they'll do this. And it will take ages for your eyes to adjust, and if I move the torch all the way out of the way, he'll just light yourself up like so. Not great. The more experienced out there will have a red light, and this is why I've called this video Red is Dead. You look like something out of a nice Cold War film with this red hue. You feel super tactical on the side of Snowdon, and it's great, but you can't see any of your red pencil marks. Everything's disappeared, and you can barely see your normal pencil marks. So what can you do? Well, the trick that I've used for quite some time now is ultraviolet, which is nice and easy. It doesn't provide as much glare as you'd expect from a white torch, and actually obviously your pencil marks will show up. Just bear with me 1 second while I set this up. So what I've got sitting off to one side is my UV light, a fresh map, so we can see we're back here around the causeway. So now you can actually see far more detail on the map, and you can come in with your pens that you've marked up earlier and mark out exactly where you want to go. You can highlight specific names and it will highlight on the map, as you can see, like that. And you generally don't get that backscatter that you would get with a white light, and you have more detail than with the red. Let me just zoom out a bit. So as you can see, if we go back to normal white light, you can still see it marked up well on the map without as much backscatter. Back into UV, and it's just a bit gentler on the eyes. The camera's actually picking it up a little more than you would expect to see. Now, one thing you can buy are these erasable fluorescent markers. They're simply part of friction, so you put mark on, and then with the other end you can just rub them out like that. Which I think is pretty great. Now obviously you're going to say, what if it gets wet, which is fine. Let me just, if I just lick my finger here, you can see it will mess them up, still mess them up and start smudging. But what you can get is fluorescent pencil. Now they're quite hard to find, but you can find them on Amazon. You heard the lid snap then. But what you can do is start mapping your map up like so. So if I bring that out to a more reasonable distance, you can see that it marks up your points just as well. Let me know what you guys think. So there it is. Let me know what you guys think. One of the added bonuses that I forgot to mention is, obviously, if you've got a compass with anything that will fluoresce, you can see that it will start to glow under the UV light, and that will charge it. Now if you have a look at that under the red light, you can see nearly all that detail is lost, and you can barely see anything, and this is a particularly dim red light. And then back to white. Again, you can still see some of that extra detail on there, but you really, if you're marking a route out, the UV is actually pretty good for protecting night vision. You don't get anywhere near as much back splatter from the light, and you'll reserve your night vision much more than you would if you started using white light. And obviously you go back to your friend who just wants to do this with everything. We've all got that friend. Right, so that was it. Bit waffly, I know, but hopefully a good trick that you guys can use. I personally use this quick clip, I think they're called, which is designed for use on vests. Law enforcement officers use them, and it's simply one push for white light and second push for UV light, as you can see. Give it a go, see how you guys get on. I'll be interested in what you think. I know it's a bit different. but it's a lot easier on the eyes. The video doesn't really do it justice. Perhaps when I'm out and about, I'll get someone else to video me using it from a bit further away, and it might show you just how clearly the high-vis stuff stands out. So that was the UV pencil. You can see it's just a propelling pencil with a UV pencil lead in there, and then you've just got a collection of UV gel pens. That's the friction one that rubs out. And then just your normal highlighters. Interested what you think, guys? Stick a note in the comments, and I'll see you soon.